In this AI agent benchmark, we're going to compare CrewAI and AutoGen. So, on which data is this based? It's based on 30 runs, and we have and the average runtime is 15 seconds, and on a total of 146,000 tokens. So, on what did we test? We were testing this on a lead scraper. So, we were building a lead scraper and then benchmarking these two AI agent frameworks. So, what data did we scrape with our lead scraper? We were scraping the contact email, the phone number, the company industry, the decision maker, which is very important if you want to individualize if you want to individualize the customer outreach. Then we have the content summary and important, the contact URL and the impression URL. Why are we going to do that? Because when we crawl the root URL, which we do in our workflow, we start with the root URL. When we crawl the root URL, we don't have most of the contact information. Those information in general is either on the contact page or on the impression page. This is basically mostly for German pages. There you find all the valuable information and even the decision maker. So let's jump quickly into the code and how it's actually working. So what is happening? Let's see. We're gonna start it. Our little script. We use AutoGen for now. We start crawling. We crawl the website derfriseurfreiberg.de, which is a German haircutter. So let's do that. So it's initializing, setting up agents for lead scraping, and then analyzing the website. And this, as said, it takes around 15 seconds. And then we're gonna get the results. So here in total, it took exactly 16 seconds. Well, not exactly, but we used 5,000 tokens in total, and it cost us, this would be 1 cent, so 0.9 cents, or even less. And information we got, we have the decision maker, we have the phone number, we have a contact email, and we have the industry. And as you can see here, it's find out the impression URL and the contact page. How we do that? We use Crawl4AI for that. The really nice thing about Crawl4AI is that it's preparing a crawled page in a format and LLM can easily read that. If you take a look at the code, then you can see it, and the code, of course, will be provided below in the description. So here, for example, we have the impression, and here you can see, well, it's German, sorry for that, but this is the CEO is Janine Köhler. So this is very important because if you do some outreach, you want to contact the decision makers, the ones who actually can buy your products. Okay, so we scrolled this, then we have some products. We have the Haarschnitt, Friseurstyling, Haarfärbung, Haarkosmetik, and some summary of the website. That's basically the information we are getting. So what we actually do. So as said, we first go to the root URL. There we find the contact page and the present page, and then we go to these two pages too and crawl all the contact information that we find actually, which we predefined. We used Pydantic, which is very good, so we can very clearly define what kind of data we want to have, and it's working like a charm, because AI agents, they like to return fuzzy data, and with Pydantic we can avoid that. So then we also add from the root URL the base, the summary of the page, and then return all of that in a structured JSON, the format you just saw here. So this is very structured data that we got returned. So as said, we compared CrewAI and AutoGen. We have a total of 31 runs, which this benchmark is based on. And let's go and take a look first at the execution time to compare these two frameworks. So first thing is we have, let me hide this one. Good. So what we're gonna have is concerning speed. The execution time, we can say, is basically the same thing. On average, we have like here 16 seconds and 15 seconds. So this we can consider very equal. Concerning the token usage, it is quite similar, but not as, but I mean, let's say you do like 1,000 crawls or like a million crawls, then, or like scrapes, then you have to say that there is a difference. So on average, we have like 5,000 tokens for the prompt and 500 tokens, like 460 tokens for the output. Of course, we have lots of prompt tokens because we put like all the content of the website. It's like the instructions, the system prompt, plus all the instructions, plus all the content we found on the website, which we have to process. Then let's go for the cost analysis. The cost analysis, well, as it's proportional to the usage of tokens, it looks pretty much the same thing. We were using GPT-4o Mini for this run as a pricing of like 15 cents per 1 million input tokens and 60 cents per 1 million output tokens. And if you would run this full process for like 1,000 times, then that would cost you like $1, and with AutoGen 79 cents. So for 1,000 quite qualified leads, I would say this is a pretty good price. And you have to consider that the price by time is going down and down and down. So if you, for example, if you would use a Gemini 2.5 Flash or something, it would be even cheaper. Or if you use like Meta Llama 3.1 or 2, or even now like Llama 4, the price is considerably cheaper than what you see here now. Okay, now finally let's take a look at the complexity. And here I was just like comparing the lines of code we were using. So here we can see we have like 114 lines for the code itself and 24 lines for the tool. For both frameworks, they use exactly the same tool, so those two are the same. And for the code, with 114 lines, I have to admit this is pretty good, and the difference is not so much, I would say. So that's, I think both frameworks are quite equally here. And the nice thing about AI agent frameworks that with very few codes, you get some pretty useful implementations already. If you would code that like with raw Python code, I think you would need lots more code and it would look more complicated at the end. So finally, we have the usability. Here we can say that CrewAI is a clear winner because AutoGen used to be quite straightforward at the beginning, but well, it's kind of where you can get an idea that they are, it's a Microsoft product. It's developed by Microsoft. It's nice, definitely nice open source project, but you can see kind of the influence of Microsoft. They have now like 3 different versions that you can use, and the documentation is like very long and in some cases pretty crumpy. So concerning installation and documentation, CrewAI wins. And concerning ease of use, they are quite similar, I would say. Anyway, CrewAI wins because it's more you can just like, you use it and it's kind of working right away. With AutoGen, you have to do different. It's because AutoGen as well is like asynchron, which is a little bit more tricky to use. So in overall, I would say that CrewAI is a winner for that test. So if you do web scraping in the near future and you want to choose between these two, probably most common AI agent frameworks, I would recommend that you take CrewAI. As said, all the code is in the description below, so you can just use my code, play with it, and adjust it. So yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like and subscribe. and see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.